How's everyone doing? Today I have a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray collection update with 7 pickups. And if you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them and let me know which one of these is your favorite. There's some awesome titles in this one, and there's definitely one that isn't so awesome. First up is The Untouchables, which is a beautiful Steelbook release from Paramount. Go ahead and show you a quick impromptu unboxing of it. There's the front cover, glossy. The spine, there's the J card, and incredible movie, one of my all-time favorite, I'd say top 50 for me. They send one of yours to the hospital, you send one of theirs to the morgue. So many great lines and scenes in here, just incredible. The scene on the steps, which is an ode to Battleship Pokemon, I believe it was, and I remember never seeing the full movie that, but seeing clips of it, and especially that particular scene. But there's the back right there. Great cast in here. We get a digital copy. And then there's the disc and interior artwork when they're in Canada, working right there with the Mounties. But yeah, Sean Connery won an Oscar for his performance here. Andy Garcia is great. Kevin Costner and Robert De Niro as Al Capone, just excellent. I love this movie so friggin' much. Had to pop it in as soon as I got it. And again, I love the design for the Steelbook too. There's been so many releases for this one, and now it's great to see it get the 4K treatment. And special features right there too, some good special features for it. So I think if you are a fan of the film, it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you're a Steelbook collector too. And I do think the picture and audio quality for Untouchables is an improvement on the previous Blu-ray release, so this is definitely the definitive release now for the Untouchables. I think this definitely improved on, the colors, black levels, definitely more depth and details, clarity, more natural skin tones, things like that. So that definitely is something that comes out when you watch this, especially after, owning the previous Blu-ray release. There's a couple scenes in here that I think, I think it's intentionally done, deliberately done, where it's a little bit soft, but I think that, again, this isn't a film that's ever gonna look super beautiful, super clean, crisp, but it's definitely an improvement over the previous 1080p release. And again, all the things that I just talked about, I think are something, if you're a fan of this film, you'll love the picture quality. And again, the audio quality was excellent too. So definitely happy with this release, just from every aspect, a phenomenal release from Paramount, and super exciting to have this on 4K. One of my all-time favorites. Great De Palma film, great cast, just everything about this one. I love the feel of it too, kind of period piece, just during that time, Prohibition. Just there's so many scenes in here that I just love. Sean Connery dragging through the hallway and pointing and, taking a drink, and just so many different aspects here. And De Niro as Capone, so friggin' good. Billy Drago. Billy Drago plays such an excellent villainous character. He is unforgettable in this one. Love it. And the score here is by Ennio Morricone, who's done so many friggin' amazing scores for films. John Carpenter's The Thing, but let me know what your favorite Ennio Morricone score is too. And this is written by David Mamet, who's a phenomenal writer. Homicide is one that I love. I'd love to see that get a Blu-ray release. I'm seeing a lot of ads on TV commercials for American Buffalo, a new play for that. And there was a movie adaptation too, again, written by David Mamet. So many great films that he's written. Let me know what your favorite David Mamet written film is. But again, this is just a great one. During the Prohibition era, Kevin Costner playing Elliot Ness and his, kind of ragtag small team to take down Capone, who's selling liquor illegally, and just the corruption going on. He's bought out officials, judges, all kinds of police officers and stuff. So they're trying to take him down, and it's just an amazing film. Great performances, great cinematography, the directing from Brian De Palma. Let me know what your favorite Brian De Palma film is. He's got some classics: Sisters, Phantom of Paradise, Carrie, Scarface, of course, the first Mission Impossible movie, Carlito's Way, Blowout, which is just, I feel like, a bit underrated. A great Criterion Collection release for that one. Dressed to Kill is one of my all-time favorites too. That one just blew my mind when I first watched it. Body Double's another really good one. And let me know what your favorite Sean Connery movie is. Let me know what your favorite Andy Garcia movie is. Let me know what your favorite Kevin Costner movie is. Kevin Costner is one of my favorite actors. Plays a great everyman character. He's done a great amount of sports movies too on different genres. Draft Day, that ending just killed it for me, but I liked his performance in there too. But Field of Dreams is one of my all-time favorites. He's also directed Open Range, which desperately needs a Blu-ray release here in the US. Underrated film, I think, too, but really enjoy him as an actor and just great performance here too. So Untouchables, the new 4K Steelbook, love it, from Paramount. Next up from Warner Brothers is Malignant. Unfortunately, no slipcover. We're seeing a lot of 4Ks without slipcovers recently. Happy Death Day 1 and 2. And I wasn't sure if that one was going to come with slipcovers or not. But it's weird that it didn't, honestly, because it is kind of a collector's edition, even if they're saying it's not, because you have the option to get like the pins and the posters and stuff like that. If you're going to offer all that, where's the slipcovers? But this one's a Warner Brothers release, and some of their recent 4K titles haven't had slipcovers. King Richard, I think Cry Macho, Reminiscence, Outsiders. So that's kind of a trend, unfortunately, and I'm hoping that they'll change that, because I would have loved to have seen a slipcover for this one. Happy Death Day, the first one, I love that one. Great horror comedy movie. The second one was a bit too derivative, not quite as good. They changed things up a bit. But Malignant, though, is one of my favorites recent horror movies from James Wan. James Wan, Death Sentence, I feel like that is really underrated, needs a Blu-ray release too. Dead Silence used to be my favorite from him, but now Malignant is my favorite. Reminds me so much of Basket Case. There are giallo kind of nods here too. Without giving too much away, it's basically about this woman who's seeing these visions of murders, and she's not sure if they're real or not. And you find out so much more as the film progresses. But I was able to figure out the twist of this one right away, because I've seen other movies like it, and even American Horror Story, the Carnival one. That one there's a episode there where they talk about a certain character that's very similar. So I've seen things like this before, but this was so amazingly well done. Great visuals here, great gore effects, great just everything. Incredible. Love the heck out of this one so friggin' much. Happy to see it get a 4K release. I was actually shocked it didn't initially. So a bit of a double dip right there. They knew what they were doing. I love the design too for that on the cover. So can't wait to check this out on 4K. Next up is one that I was disappointed in. It's Infinite with Mark Wahlberg and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Chiwetel Ejiofor actually worked with Mark Wahlberg in Four Brothers, which I absolutely love that one. It's kind of a remake of Sons of Katie Elder. And let me know what your favorite Mark Wahlberg movie is and your favorite Chiwetel Ejiofor movie. Boogie Nights, Departed. Mark Wahlberg's been in some good movies, but I feel like the best movies that he's done acting-wise outside of Fear are the Peter Berg-directed movies like True Life, based on true story movies. That actually, for whatever reason, Peter Berg was able to bring out the best acting-wise in Mark Wahlberg, because I never really thought he was a good actor. I thought he had good screen presence. Fear was a good performance, But Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think he's an excellent actor. I loved him in Four Brothers back in the day, but he's been in, I was at Dirty Pretty Things, 12 Years a Slave, incredible movie. This one had a great idea, theme, premise, but the execution wasn't there. It's directed from Antoine Fuqua, who I actually like as a director. He directed Equalizer, Training Day, the Magnificent Seven remake, and also Brooklyn's Finest, which I think is really underrated for a good cop drama thriller movie. Love the heck out of that one. Great cast in that one too. I never hear anybody talk about it, and that deserves so much more love. Brooklyn's Finest, check that one out. But this one basically is about a guy who's seeing these visions, and he finds out that it's because there's these people called infinites that are able to kind of relive memories of past lives, and they can remember all these visions and memories from previous incarnations, essentially. And there's other people that are essentially trying to stop that, so they'll never be able to do that again. And it's action overload. There's some good visuals here, but the execution just fails, unfortunately. I think the concept is really cool with the reincarnation and being able to, have those memories and, recognize other people that you interacted with, even though they're in different bodies, different forms and stuff like that. And again, some great visuals and fight scenes and stuff like that, chases, but I just feel like it didn't work. a little bit more style over substance. I also, I don't think Mark Wahlberg was the best for this lead role. I would have rather seen him play the bad guy instead of Chiwetel Ejiofor. I think Chiwetel Ejiofor could have been better. Or actually, who else is in here? Briefly, though, I feel like he should have gotten a little bit more recognition and been in here a little bit more. There's a few recognizable people, and Dylan O'Brien, that's who it is. He could have been really good in the lead here, I think. He has a small role. This was a disappointing movie. Beautiful release, though, from Paramount. Some good special features in here, and the picture quality is phenomenal. So, and audio quality too. So, visually stunning film, very aesthetically appealing. But man, I wanted to like this movie so much more. Just the execution of it, and then I don't think Mark Wahlberg was the best for the lead here. And then it also has Rafi from The League. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but I'll always remember him in that role. Next up, Beverly Hills Cop 2. I love the Beverly Hills Cop movies. Classic Eddie Murphy during that time frame. Let me know what your favorite Eddie Murphy movie is. And this is directed by Tony Scott, brother of Ridley Scott. Tragic with Tony Scott jumping off of a bridge and committing suicide. Kind of shocking. I think it shocked Hollywood. I know he had been dealing with cancer and stuff, but I remember hearing when the reports came out that there was no cancer found in his body. I don't know, but definitely a shame. He was a tremendous director. He directed True Romance, Top Gun, Days of Thunder. One of my all-time favorite action movies, The Last Boy Scout, which I think is super underrated as well. That needs a standalone Blu-ray release. That's a double feature Blu-ray release, but definitely needs a standalone too. He also directed The Fan with Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes. Love that one. That one needs a standalone Blu-ray release too. He also directed Man on Fire, The Hunger with David Bowie, Catherine Deverneaux, Susan Sarandon. And then he did 2 train movies, Unstoppable, which I think is actually really good, with Denzel and Chris Pine. And then Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 remake, which I actually really enjoyed that one too, with Denzel and then John Travolta. John Travolta plays a really good villainous character. Crimson Tide, Man on Fire, I think is actually really underrated. Another Denzel movie. A lot of these directors like to work with some of the same actors and, kind of build up that rapport. Antoine Fuqua is another one, but Tony Scott too, and I think it works well. They both really like working with Denzel. I mean, I guess who wouldn't? He's a very talented actor. Speaking of Top Gun, though, too, the new Top Gun Maverick. I can't wait to check that one out. I've heard rave reviews for it. But this one was just a really fun action comedy movie. I love these kind of buddy cop-esque kind of movies. And there's a bit of that element here. Of course, you have Judge Reinhold and John Ashton back, too. But Axel Foley, great character. Brigitte Nielsen in here. Just, coming back, going undercover for some of these, killings and stuff like that, and smugglers. And so I just remember it being a fun time, and I'm looking forward to checking this one out on 4K. Hopefully they'll release the third on 4K as well. Another release from Paramount. And then the next 2 are also from Paramount. They're part of the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan franchise right here, Sum of All Fears, and then Patriot Games. I'll talk about Sum of All Fears first. And this is directed by Phil Alden Robinson, who directed Field of Dreams, which is my favorite Kevin Costner movie. One of my all-time favorite movies, top 20 for me. He also directed Sneakers, which has a great cast. Love the heck out of that one. That one deserves more love, I feel like. Some good special features on here, too. I remember seeing this one in the theaters with my father, so it has a special place for me. Basically, kind of bringing back the Cold War era, Russia and the nuclear attack, and they're trying to prevent it. There's supposed to be, a nuclear bomb at a football game, and just tons of tension. And I actually really liked Ben Affleck as Jack Ryan. I feel like people were, kind of crapping on him acting-wise. I remember specifically when it was announced he was going to be Batman, people were just coming out in droves and bringing up Geely. People develop. He's been a great actor for a long time, and great director, too. The Town is one of the best heist movies ever. Gone Girl, I mean, great performances, great directing. And I remember doing a video, saying all that too. And leave Ben Affleck alone. Actually, I thought he was great as Batman. Batfleck, I would have loved to have seen him reprise the role, but I do like Robert Pattinson too. Let me know what your favorite Ben Affleck movie is. Acting and directing, and Morgan Freeman is always incredible. I mean, his list's just forever long. I remember, who was it? Street Smart with Christopher Reeves, I think it was called, where he played, I think his character was Fast Black. He was a pimp. So good in that role, like an early role, but he's been incredible for so long. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one for, Jack Ryan films. So kind of surprising, kind of an underrated one for those kind of films. And then Patriot Games, which is the first time that Harrison Ford is playing Jack Ryan. And I think everybody loves Harrison Ford in this role. He is kind of like, when people think of Jack Ryan, they think of him. This one right here, he basically prevents an assassination and becomes kind of a big hero, but then also a target too. The IRA are involved, and his family's in danger. Sean Bean, so good. And then James Earl Jones. There's a few other recognizable people in here. Thora Birch. So yeah, really enjoy the heck out of this one. This one's from Philip Noyce, which makes me think of the Key and Peele sketch. Noyce. If you've seen that, you know what I'm talking about. But Philip Noyce is actually a great director. He directed Salt, which I think is an excellent female-led action movie. There's been a few before, but kind of pushed the envelope for female-led action movies, and there was a ton. Came in droves after that. Red Sparrow. Atomic Blonde, I think, was one of the better ones of those recent ones. He also directed Catch a Fire, which I think is underrated. Bone Collector, which is awesome. Dead Calm is another really good one, which I need to pick that up on Blu-ray. This one, again, great tension here. Great adaptation from Tom Clancy. Harrison Ford, excellent in the role. He is Jack Ryan for me. But the whole cast shined here. Sean Bean, incredible. And then, speaking of, I was talking about Field of Dreams, James Earl Jones in there too. So it all connects. But really good releases of both of these films. Some good special features on here too. Patriot Games Up Close for that one, which is on the Blu-ray, and the special features on here too. More special features on Sum of All Fears, but still happy to have just even a little bit of special features for these films are great. I would have liked a bit more for Patriot Games, but I'm happy to have that one. So there we go. And then last but not least is Hell or High Water Steelbook from Lionsgate, Best Buy exclusive. Lionsgate is killing it with these Steelbook releases. Mill Creek had been doing them for a while, Mondo too, with these protective slipcovers, but Lionsgate changed the game with these protective slipcovers. Not only are they practical, but they're visually appealing. And what they're doing is it reveals different artwork underneath when you pull the slipcover up. Like that. So I think that is just simply amazing. Again, other companies have been doing these protective slipcovers for a bit, like I mentioned, but nothing quite like this where it reveals other artwork underneath. And this is actually a really incredible film. You've got Jeff Bridges as the Texas Ranger trying to take down the two brothers, Chris Pine and Ben Foster here, who are, robbing a bank to, kind of save their family ranch. And I feel like this one is something some people can relate to as well during the housing market and stuff like that. But it's gritty, and I really enjoy the heck out of this one. It's written by Taylor Sheridan, who wrote and directed Wind River. He wrote the Sicario movies, and he was co-creator for Yellowstone, which is one of the best TV shows ever for me. Best one on TV currently. So definitely check that one out. And I want to check out the prequel show for that too, but I think he's a really talented writer, and especially for kind of the Western genre feel, or modern Western, so neo-Westerns. So he definitely has that feel, and can't wait to see what he does in the future, writing, directing wise, anything like that. I will check out anything Taylor Sheridan does. But Ben Foster, I think, is an incredible actor, really kind of underrated. And he's been in so many great films, so many great everything he does, great performance. My favorite vampire movie is 30 Days of Night, and he played the stranger character in there. So gritty, dirty, and awesome. But this one is an excellent film, and then you've got some good special features here too. And again, just a beautiful release. So I love how it's the Jeff Bridges sunglasses right there, and reveals underneath. And I love that design, almost kind of like a mosaic design. So another impromptu Steelbook unboxing. But I can't wait to see what Lionsgate releases in the future, Steelbook-wise. You got the 4K and then the Blu-ray. But I love the feel just that kind of washed out hues, and really reflects the bleak tone, but that feeling of kind of despair too in here. And then kind of the thicket, the weeds right there, and branches and stuff. But I don't know, I watch this and I just feel sweaty and dirty, and but I love this one so much. Beautiful release for the film too. And let me know what you would like to see Lionsgate release on Steelbook in the future. Give it some kind of cool new artwork and slipcover design. I feel like there's a lot of possibilities out there. And I feel like there's a lot of double dipping going on. You know, they released the standard 4K and then they released a Steelbook, and the Steelbooks are amazing, so got to pick that up. So some beautiful releases coming out on 4K. Definitely happy for them. I would like to see more slipcovers for ones that don't have them. But the only movie that I didn't enjoy here was Infinite, and I'm kind of torn because I love the concept so much, but just the execution wasn't there. I don't think Mark Wahlberg was right in the lead, but I don't know. I'm going to keep that one revisit because the visuals are great too. The concept and visuals are really great for me. But there you go. Let me know if you've seen any of these and what you think of them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.